You finally did it. You stayed calm during your child's meltdown. No yelling, no threats, no losing it. You took a deep breath, kept your voice low, and just waited. And somehow, it got worse. Your child screamed louder, cried harder, threw themselves on the floor like the world was ending. And you stood there thinking, I did everything right. Why is this still happening? Here's the answer, and it's going to sound strange at first. A few weeks ago, Leo melted down before school. He wanted to wear his dinosaur shirt. It was in the laundry. That was it. That was the whole reason. I sat down on the floor next to him, completely calm, soft voice, relaxed face. I didn't argue, didn't raise my voice, didn't try to fix it. Leo looked at me and lost it even more. He started crying harder. He pushed me away. He yelled, "Stop looking at me!" I hadn't done anything wrong, but something about me being calm made him fall apart even more. I didn't understand it at the time, but now I do. And once you hear the explanation, it makes complete sense. When your child is in a meltdown, their brain is in full alarm mode. The amygdala, think of it as the brain's smoke detector, has gone off. And when that happens, the thinking part of the brain shuts down completely. Your child is not being difficult. Their brain is flooded. They literally cannot calm themselves down on their own. Here's the part most people don't know. According to the Harvard Center on the Developing Child, young children don't yet have the brain wiring to regulate their own emotions. They need to borrow that ability from a calm adult nearby. That process is called co-regulation. And co-regulation doesn't mean just being calm near your child. It means your nervous system and their nervous system have to actually connect. When that connection doesn't happen, when your child's brain can't find that bridge to yours, the alarm gets louder, not quieter. That's what was happening with Leo and me that morning. I was calm, but the connection wasn't there yet. Let me explain exactly why, and what to do instead. Being calm isn't enough. Your child needs to feel you're calm. There's a big difference between being calm and helping your child feel safe. Think about it this way. If you were really upset, like genuinely scared or overwhelmed, and someone sat near you completely still, blank face saying nothing, would that help you calm down? Probably not. It might actually make you feel more alone. That's what young kids experience when we go into silent, controlled calm mode. Dr. Daniel Siegel, a clinical professor at UCLA and author of The Whole Brain Child, explains it this way. Kids need to feel felt before they can calm down. Feeling felt means your child senses that you actually understand what they're going through, not that you're just waiting for it to stop. So what does that look like in real life? It looks like getting physically close, not hovering, just near. It looks like a warm hand on their back. It looks like a soft, "I know, buddy, that's really hard." Not to fix it, just to say, "I'm here, I get it, you're not alone in this." That's the signal their nervous system is looking for. Why your calm can feel like rejection to a toddler. Here's something that really surprised me when I learned it. To a toddler in the middle of a meltdown, a completely neutral face can actually feel scary. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because little kids read faces constantly. It's how they figure out if the world is safe. When they're falling apart emotionally and they look up at you, they're checking. Is this okay? Am I okay? Are you okay? If your face is blank or unreadable, their brain gets confused. And a confused, overwhelmed brain doesn't calm down. It escalates. The American Academy of Pediatrics calls this social referencing. Babies and toddlers use your facial expressions as a guide for how to feel. So if you're calm but your face isn't warm, your child's brain doesn't get the safety signal it needs. The fix isn't to fake emotions or be dramatic. It's just to let your face be warm. A soft expression, gentle eyes, something that says, "Everything is okay, even when it doesn't feel like it right now." The distance problem. Why staying back makes it worse. A lot of moms, and I did this too with Leo, step back during a meltdown. Not out of frustration, out of respect. Giving them space, not crowding them. That sounds reasonable. But for most kids under 5, physical distance during emotional overload actually increases distress. Here's why. Young children have what researchers call a proximity-seeking response when they're stressed. Their brain is wired to look for a safe person and get close to them. When you step away, even with good intentions, their brain reads it as the safe person leaving. And that triggers more alarm, not less. Now, some kids, especially kids with sensory sensitivities, do need physical space. Every child is different, and you know your child best. But for most toddlers, the sweet spot is close but not overwhelming. Sitting on the floor at their level, not grabbing or holding, just being there. Near enough that they know you're not going anywhere. That physical presence is doing more work than any words you could say. The tone of your voice matters more than the words. When Leo was mid-meltdown, I tried saying, "It's okay, buddy," in my most controlled, calm voice. Flat tone, even volume, very measured. And Leo yelled back, "It's not okay!" Here's the thing. He was right. To him, in that moment, it wasn't okay. And my flat, controlled tone felt disconnected from what he was actually going through. Research on early childhood development shows that prosody, the rhythm and warmth in your voice, has a direct effect on a child's nervous system. A warm, slightly slower voice with a gentle rise and fall literally helps regulate a child's heartbeat and breathing. A flat, controlled voice, even if the words are kind, doesn't have the same effect. You don't need to use a baby voice or be over the top. Just let a little warmth into your tone. Think about how you'd talk to a good friend who is having a really rough day. That's the tone. Not a therapist, not a robot, just warm and real. Timing. Why co-regulation fails when you try too early or too late. One more thing that makes a big difference, and it took me a while to figure this out with Leo. There's a window. Right at the start of a meltdown, your child's brain is going up fast. Too much stimulation, even calm, warm contact, can feel overwhelming and add fuel to the fire. At the peak of a meltdown, most kids need you close, but not talking much. Presence over words. Then, as the storm starts to pass, and you'll feel it, the crying changes, their body starts to soften, that's the window. That's when the warmth, the words, the gentle, "I know that was really hard," actually land. Not at the start, not at the peak. After the wave breaks. The Harvard research on stress response in young children describes this as the recovery window. The moment the nervous system is ready to receive comfort and start rebuilding. Miss that window and your child will push you away. Catch it and connection happens fast.
So let's go back to where we started. You stayed calm. You did everything right. And it still got worse. Now you know why. Calm isn't the destination. Connection is. Your child doesn't need you to be a robot during a meltdown. They need to feel that you're really there. Warm. Close. Present. Not fixing it. Not rushing it. Just riding the wave with them until it passes. That's co-regulation. And honestly, it's one of the hardest things to do as a mom. Because it asks you to stay open and warm right at the moment you most want to shut down. But here's what I've seen with Leo. The more I practice this, the shorter his meltdowns get. Not because I found the magic trick, but because his nervous system is learning, slowly, that the storm always passes, and that I'll be there when it does. If you want to understand what's actually triggering your child's meltdowns before they even start, that's what the next video covers. Because once you see the triggers, you can catch it before the alarm goes off. See you there.